bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah. Welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly stuttering host, Matt Sroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Sroka.
Hey, we're squeezing this in. Last podcast of the year.
Yep, with, 4 hours to spare?
Yeah, depending on your math, and depending really on when you're listening to this.
Well, yeah, you're probably in the new year when you listen to this.
Right.
It'd be impressive if you're somehow eavesdropping on a conversation. If you don't work for the CIA, you are listening to this in the new year.
See, this is now you know what we're rolling into. We're rolling into Bert Rohde conversation. Bert loves the concept of being able to use his phone to time travel. For instance, he wants to be at a baseball game and get the notification on his phone before the event happens.
Yeah, I was at a friend's house, not a friend's, family member's house in Richmond for Christmas and watching the Ravens game. And he had whatever smart TV or whatever, but it was the TV was a good 15 seconds behind live action.
Welcome to my life.
This was the first time I really experienced getting messages like Yahoo updates for my fantasy before the play happened. And even my brother-in-law was like, hey, you're about to really like what happens. I was like, shut up, don't tell me that.
Yes. Because you weren't because you were watching over the internet. You weren't in the broadcast region or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my life. I have all those notices turned off on my phone.
Yeah,
I only check my fantasy and check stuff out during commercial breaks. That's what you got to do in that world.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
This Blake Snell trade.
Now, you want to jump straight into sports?
Yeah, we can get into. I got some Christmas stuff. We're gonna do a special New Year's edition.
It's been 2 minutes, and you want to ask me about the trade to San Diego?
I got top 11. I couldn't make it 10. I squeezed in 11. This is not David Letterman here. Top 11 events from 2020 for the Orioles. For the Baltimore sports.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, it's been 3 minutes. What do you think of the election?
No, the Blake Snell
how about
thing.
Some COVID? You want some COVID talk?
Well, the COVID doesn't exist. The COVID's been done for a while in Florida, I thought. That's old news there in Florida. But here in Maryland, COVID still exists. And,
COVID's here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We just don't believe in the Big Brother lockdowns.
Yeah.
We like to choose. I like to choose to wear my mask when I go out, not be told to.
I agree. It's all just the flu. Though my wife's surgical unit was just tonight converted to COVID unit, but that must just be a bunch of flu cases, I'm sure.
Well, it can't be the flu case because there was an article about how flu cases are way down. Thanks to us wearing masks.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but anyway, you know what? Let's go to Blake Snell. You convinced me.
Well, there's two. I know. I told you what. You don't want to go there. There's just two questions I have about the Blake Snell trade. The first question is, there's been a lot of, I don't know if you've been watching this, Josh, but there's been a lot of on ESPN. Jeff Passan wrote an article. Also, there's an article in The Athletic that I couldn't read, but I read the headline. A lot of bashing, or at least trying to point out the flaws of the current state of baseball. This is also combined with the Yu Darvish trade to the Padres, where they got very little back for him, and he's a top pitcher. And
people are starting to point out that you can buy championships?
Well, no, the opposite, in that they're starting to point out not the Padres, that the Padres are doing it right, but that everyone else in baseball is more concerned with turning a profit and not as concerned with winning. And teams like the Rays and the Cubs who are salary dumping, like there's too many teams not really trying to win, just trying to make money. And how this is a problem in baseball. And the Rays always trading their best players is an example of it. And the Cubs just dumping salary is another example of it.
It is not a problem with baseball. It's a problem with sports across the board. By the way, if you hear a bunch of stuff in the background of my noise, it's not gunshots. There's a bunch of fireworks that keep going off behind me.
It's Florida, so there could be a gunshot mixed in there.
Right. No, this is the state of all sports right now. It is ran by businessmen. It's not. Sports aren't ran by coaches. They're ran by businessmen.
But isn't it more extreme in baseball?
I don't know, because for the past, I guess now 2 weeks, I have been flooded on the internet with advertisements to lock up my season tickets for the Jaguars because they're going to have the number 1 draft pick.
They better not win on Sunday.
They are very happy to have crapped the bed this year. And they're extremely happy that the Jets accidentally won a game.
Well, Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be good.
Right. So I'd say you see that in football. You see that in baseball, definitely. I'm not as big of an NBA fan, so I don't. And I got to say, the NBA is the only one of these sports that has tried to address tanking.
Oh, man, but
tried to stop it.
With the lottery draft.
With the lottery.
But, the Sixers, 5 years ago, they started this whole thing, trust the process, which was we're going to suck for 5 years and get all these top picks, and then we'll be good. So the NBA, the NBA is crazy because you need 3-star players to compete, and so how you get there is almost impossible.
Right, but the NBA is at least trying to do it with the lottery.
Yes, they made attempts. And baseball has made attempts with compensatory draft picks and stuff. I guess, and they've tried to make. But that's not really discouraging tanking.
It doesn't really discourage. Just like baseball did the whole penalties if you're spend too much money. You're not a salary cap, but there's a range where then you got to send money back to the smaller clubs.
Right.
But that doesn't help either, because that just means if you can afford to pay those fines, you can pay more and win.
And it doesn't incentivize teams like the Orioles to even have a salary floor, right?
No,
and that's incentivize them to spend any money.
And that's been the talk in Baltimore for a while of, do just enough to make money. Just enough to be positive. And run this like a business.
And why would Mike Elias spend $100 million on payroll when he could have the same results with a $70 million payroll?
Right. Well, see, that's a different argument, because if you can get the same results at $70 million or $100 million, your GM's not doing their job. If you spend another $30 million, what's that? Another third of your salary, and your team doesn't get better, you've got front office problems.
Well, this is the story though, Josh, with the Tampa Bay Rays. That they continually have one of the lowest salaries in baseball, but they're also the most competitive.
Yes.
And so what do you do with that? Because it's probably bad for baseball because you want them to spend more money because you want everybody to spend more money, but they're also able to maintain a competitive edge even not spending money.
Right, and that's the problem, especially with baseball. In football, you don't get that because the competitive edge, just being competitive for football means you've got a shot every year. With baseball, it doesn't. Baseball does have a problem because the teams in the middle are not incentivized. I liked the expanded playoffs this year because it gave a little bit more incentive to be above mediocre. Because you're right. If you sit there and the way baseball is built, you're either rebuilding or you're going for the World Series. There's no middle ground. Hey, let's be competitive every year, and if magic hits, we make that jump.
Yeah,
There's none of that.
And the tougher thing is, with the NFL, if the Jaguars, when they draft Trevor Lawrence, they will immediately become relevant again and start, and start being competitive again. In the NBA, you can have a number 1 pick be a franchise-changing guy the next year. In baseball, you can get a number 1 pick, and not find out till 4 years down the road if he is a franchise transfer. So it's like for baseball, it just takes a lot longer to do the rebuild than it does in these other sports.
But now why is that? Maybe how do you fix that? So the reason is there's no incentive to get guys to the majors faster.
That's one aspect that we've talked about it. Yeah, that we've talked about here. You got to the majors
faster. We've talked about that many times.
Yeah.
And part of why there's no incentive, there's the incentive in football to get your guy there fast because football's a short career.
Yep.
Baseball, you can stick around and you can be a slightly above average player and play well into your late 30s.
Well, Josh, is Adley Rutschman the best catcher on our team right now?
Yes.
But he's going to start at Bowie, right?
Right.
And why? Because this thing called service time.
Yes. Yes, service time's a big mistake too. But maybe one of the answers is baseball needs to expand to more cities. And that sounds crazy in a down year where everyone lost money. But what if we made the stadiums a little smaller and expanded to more cities, which meant you needed more players of a higher quality? If you have more teams, then the stars get spread out thinner. And then that means you need more players, so that AAA player becomes a major league quality player. And it's not to water down the product, but kind of more even it out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument goes back to, like, Yu Darvish is just a good example. Now, he's had an injury history, and he's getting older. I think he's in like 34 now. But still, like, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And the demand is not there for Yu Darvish, partly because of the contract, because he's set to make a lot of money. And so it's like, how do you get teams? Like, I feel like maybe 10, 15 years ago, teams were more concerned about winning championships than they were about, payroll and a luxury tax. And now teams are more concerned about making money than they are about winning games. And I think that's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, and you're right. And I don't know, how do you fix that is a good question.
Like, what is that? Like, I don't know. Like, baseball doesn't have a salary floor, I don't think. But, like, putting a salary floor in there or penalizing teams who don't spend a certain amount of money, or you do stuff like that.
Yeah, but then they can spend their money on whatever. I mean, and then that hurts the small market teams.
It sounds dumb, but, like, the problem is not everybody wants to win. Like, that's a dumb thing in sports to have a problem. Like, you wouldn't think that'd be a problem, but that is a problem.
The problem is this whole, not everyone wants to win because they're waiting for their year. The Orioles do not want to win this year because they don't see it as their window yet. So they're waiting.
Right. And there's too many teams like that.
All right, well, here's the other thing. Does Major League Baseball care? Or does Major League Baseball just care about making money, so they don't care?
Well, they just care about making money, obviously. But the question is, in the long run, do all these teams not trying? Like the Orioles' revenue is down. Less people are going to the games. Less people care about the Orioles because they lose all the time. Like, no one likes to rebuild. And when you have half the league doing this, like that, because, I mean, if you're a Tampa Bay, even a Tampa Bay Rays fan who are continually competitive, they know if they have a great player, he's gone before his contract's up, right? Like, he's not even playing to the end of his contract because they're going to trade him away. They've done it repeatedly.
Right.
And so for a Rays fan, that sucks. And I think that's, but I guess they win. So if you're like Bert, who I talked about all the time, I just care about the jersey. I'm cheering for the jersey, not the name on the jersey.
The laundry.
Yeah, cheering for the laundry. Then I guess you're cool with it, but I think it kind of sucks. Like, I love Manny Machado. I think it sucks that he left.
Sure. I mean, but at that argument, let's get rid of free agency. That's bad for the player. That's good for the team, bad for the player.
No, my argument is Orioles and other teams need to re-sign their players.
Yes, and how do you incentivize that?
Yeah, though my same argument is the Orioles should have never re-signed Chris Davis, but that's a separate thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you do some type of I don't know. I think one thing you do is you look at the sports that are growing. Before this year, the NBA was growing. So we look at the NBA. What works well for them? The draft and the excitement there. All right, let's steal that for baseball, and let's do the ping pong balls in baseball. That'll help get rid of some of the tanking. Let's look at the NFL. What makes the NFL continually the number one sport in America? Why is it that when players take knees, when stuff comes out about concussions, when people go and say, I'm never watching football again.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't hurt the ratings.
Football is always the king. I think a big part of that is that every Sunday matters.
Yeah.
That any given Sunday is a real statement.
And
for any team.
The parity of the, I mean, we've seen team go 5-10 to 15 and
Right.
5. I mean, to 10 and 5 all the time.
The fact that week 16 and week 17 matter greatly, 16 and 17 matter greatly for the playoffs.
This next week is going to be a lot of fun, by the way, in the NFL, just across the board.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially that down in Miami. Was it that game, and then the whole Steelers Browns, if they even try to play, it's going to be fun. Just in games that affect the Ravens, it'll be fun. Or Steelers Browns, and then who do the Bills play? Bills play Miami, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, I believe so.
But Bills have nothing to play for too, right? So it's just
Right.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different playoff scenarios. Like we could play any 3 or 4 teams. Like there's a bunch of playoff scenarios.
So how do you bring that excitement to baseball? How do you make baseball? All right, you've got 162 games. Don't tell me let's shorten it to 50 games. I don't like a shortened season. We got to keep the 162. But how do you're not going to bring an every game matters mentality to baseball, except you did years ago with that game 162 magic. That worked.
Yeah.
At least 1 year it worked.
It works if you have enough teams
who
are competitive in that wild card race.
So how do you encourage more teams to be competitive?
Well that's what baseball did with the extra wild card team, right? I think that was the whole reason behind a second wild card team to incentivize the playoffs even more, incentivize winning even more.
And that's what they're trying, but I don't know. There's still a lot of tanking. How do you... Baseball is the only sport, well, football a little bit, but really baseball is the only sport that relies on their farm system. And when you build a baseball team, you're not building for this year, for next year. You're not building in 4-year windows. You're building in decade windows.
Yeah.
That makes baseball a lot different. And that's just where we talk about it sucks to shut down the Frederick Keys. But I find myself continuing to be against minor league baseball.
This is the whole conversation when Michael Elias got here. We started talking about 2023. What kind of nonsense is that? Like, you hire a guy, hey, 5 years, let's go. Like, that's nonsense.
Right, and that's why I'm saying expand baseball to more teams, not to water down the product, but to get rid of the minor league baseball. Because why not make baseball more exciting in more cities instead of threats of teams leaving Tampa? Why does Montreal not have a team yet? Why does Nashville not have a team yet? You can do this. Baseball is such a regional sport with their regional TV markets that you can afford to put stadiums in all these other cities if you don't have that requirement that this stadium has to hold 45,000 people. Why not build stadiums with a 20,000 occupancy, 25,000? Why not? You've got to find that balance of TV revenue and streaming revenue versus cramming all these people. And maybe it might be something that we come out of 2020 with and out of COVID with of, if it's not the World Series, do I want to be in a packed Camden Yards? Maybe we learn to not be in such big crowds, and maybe that helps with something like this.
Yeah, and you made the other argument against that, Josh, is that there's not enough major talent to fill out another couple teams or few teams.
Sure,
but I would argue again,
I think there's more than enough.
Well, this goes back to our previous conversation. If you look at the top 100 prospects in baseball, how many of those guys are in the minors but are better than major leaguers right now? So if you do work with the contract and get rid of service time and just give like first round signings, have 7 years with the team or whatever. And if you do that, it would encourage these top 100 prospects to be major leaguers sooner to help your team win now. And I would argue, and you're like you said before, bringing AAA guys up to the majors quicker, specifically those top prospects up to the major leagues faster. I think the talent level would not drop a lot because I think those guys are more talented than some of the major leaguers out there. Like I would argue that right now, Grayson Rodriguez and DL Hall are going to be better than some of the starting pitchers we have going for us this year.
I think I've got the answer.
Okay.
Relegation.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This is soccer. This is soccer nonsense.
People that kick the ball around.
This is nonsense.
And let's take the teams that suck the worst.
We would end up. The Orioles would be in Bowie. Yeah. No. Get out of here.
But that's the magic of relegation. Is once the Orioles get sent down to AAA, they can be the best AAA team, and then they work their way up.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that.
So you expand and you relegate. Yeah. And then that way, I don't like it. I'm just saying we've got to penalize rebuilding. But let's not penalize until the Orioles rebuild. Then we'll penalize rebuilding.
Hey, here's my second question about the Blake Snell trade. That was my first question.
Yeah, he's the one that gets screwed in the process, by the way.
Who?
Blake Snell.
Why does he get screwed? He goes to a winning team. I guess he goes from one winning team to another winning team.
Because he goes from Florida as his state of residence to California as his state of residence.
But San Diego.
San Diego's beautiful. His salary got just drastically cut with California taxes.
And he can no longer leave his house.
Yeah, and now he's in lockdown.
He's going to be requesting a trade to Texas after a month over there. So my second question is, all right, Josh, the Baltimore Orioles. There's two people in this trade. There is the Rays, who trade every prospect they have before they reach their final year of arbitration or the final contract. They trade them away for better prospects who they then groom to be awesome. Like, the guy they got for Blake Snell is going to be an ace. Like, it's done.
Yeah, I would.
Or are we the Rays, Josh, in this scenario? Or are we the Padres who signed Manny Machado, just traded for a big contract to Yu Darvish? They have a big farm system that they're trading to get a major league talent here. San Diego is not a large market team. So my question is, Josh, when we start being good in 2023, are we more like the Rays in that we keep on trading every prospect before we can re-sign them? So become this efficient running machine? Or are we more like the Padres, who develop talent in the minors, but also are willing to spend big money on the Yu Darvishes and the Manny Machados? Which one are we in this scenario, the Padres or the Rays?
Well, there's a big question mark, which is Peter Angelos and that 2023. Because as we've been talking about him getting too old for many years, so I don't know how he was born in 1929. I mean, quick math, what's that make him? 90-something? I don't know. How old is it? If you're born in 1929,
yeah, he is 91.
How old are you?
He's
91.
Yeah.
Yeah. Born on the 4th of July. He is 91 years old.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yep. Yeah. Nice American.
Yeah.
Born on the 4th of July. He is not going to be around in 2023. I'm going to predict that. It seems like a very horrible prediction, but I'm pretty good at calling out injuries, and then they happen. So I'm going to say Peter Angelos will not be around in 2023.
And you think that that matters in this whole Rays versus Padres discussion?
Yeah, because we're moving to Nashville.
Okay.
No. I think it matters in your question of, are we the type of team that's going to be spending a lot of money?
Yeah, that's the question.
Because we're going to have a different person at the helm. My fear is that we're the Houston Astros. That we talk a big game, we do this whole rebuild, we get into the World Series, and then afterwards we got to cheat to try to get back, and we don't really hold up to our bargain of our farm system didn't last out.
But the Astros have also been willing to extend guys and sign guys. Not everybody. We say Springer's now a free agent, but they extended Bregman. Like they've been kind of in the middle between the Padres and the Rays.
The Astros have been a disappointment since winning the World Series.
Okay. Well, I mean, the whole cheating thing has tainted the whole thing.
That mixes things up. That definitely, taints it all.
But are we more like the Rays in that we're going to be focused on super development and trading away talent and being financially savvy and smart? Or are we going to go all in like the Padres? Like, what do you think?
We're going to go all in.
Okay, you think we'll be more like the Padres?
Yeah. Right. We're going to go all in.
We'll sign a big-name free agent? We'll trade a prospect for a star?
We're going to have to. There's going to be holes where we're going to have to sign big names. It's probably in our pitching staff, just like the Padres did with Snell or Darvish.
That's not what the Rays do.
I know. I'm saying we're the Padres.
All right.
You can argue the Rays. I'm saying we're the Padres.
I'm skeptical, but okay. I hope we are.
We've got this big drought without a championship in Baltimore. The Angelos family is going to get us that championship.
All right.
Now, what they do after that is questionable. But we're going to get that World Series in 2023.
All right.
And hopefully, you know what? I hope that Peter Angelos is still alive then. Because I want Peter Angelos at Camden Yards. I want Peter Angelos holding up that World Series championship trophy. And I want the city of Baltimore to cheer for Peter Angelos. Because I'm not defending Peter Angelos, but as Oriole fans, we like to blame Peter Angelos for everything. And he's made his mistakes. But we definitely put a lot more blame on Peter Angelos than we need to.
Yeah.
He's an easy scapegoat.
I mean,
I really want to rub it in Nestor's face.
Yeah, I do too. And I hope Peter Angelos gets to see a World Series as well. But I mean, you diminish what the Rays were in the World Series this past year. They're in the playoffs seemingly every year.
Yes. No. I'm not diminishing the Rays. The Rays are always. If the Rays were not in the AL East, they would be at the top all the time.
Right, and they're always second or third.
So back to fixing baseball. We got to mix up these divisions because it's hard for teams like the Orioles and the Rays to truly compete with the Reds type of spending that the Red Sox and Yankees do.
Yeah. It's true. All right.
My neighbors must agree with me. They're setting up all the
Who's knocking in the back there?
It's the fireworks.
Sounds like someone knocking on your door.
No, it is 8:30 at night, and people are setting off fireworks as if it's midnight.
Right.
It's Florida. They've been going off since 5 o'clock today. There's been fireworks.
Hey, Josh, you have a good Christmas?
Yeah. Was Christmas just last week?
It was
I guess so.
It was this past week. We haven't talked since Christmas.
We had a nice, quiet Christmas. I went ahead and a quiet Christmas with the family. No one else around. No extended family and everything. And then FaceTimed all my brothers and sisters to talk to them. And my sisters answered the FaceTime calls. My brother did not answer his FaceTime call.
That sucks.
Or even respond later on.
Okay. I'm here right now.
I know. That's like last week when you got your doctorate, and Gigi asked me if I called and congratulated you, and I said no. I'll talk to you later tonight on the show.
Yeah.
We talk enough this way.
We talk every stinking week. It's fine.
I was really calling to talk to Silas and Faye.
Mm.
I wanted to know about Santa and if the reindeer ate the apples.
Yeah, they ate the apples. I left partially chewed apples, thinking that would be a good sign. They ate all that's I left half of a couple apples.
Yeah, because reindeer really pick and choose to make sure not to eat the peels.
Yeah, but Silas was skeptical. He was like, why did the reindeer not eat all the apples? Why is there some left?
That's because Silas has never left anything on his plate.
Yeah, did they not like the apples? It's no, they like the apples fine.
So how was your Christmas? Mine was really quiet. My girls, I got them gaming PCs. So right after they opened it, it was put them together, and then they were in their rooms playing Minecraft for the rest of the day. So it was a really quiet house.
I'm surprised Minecraft is still a thing. Are there like updates on the original Minecraft like extensions and stuff?
And hacks and everything that they're doing and servers where they
that thing has lasted around as a popular. That's been around for a while now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Usually those games come and go.
Yep. No, they play it a lot.
Yeah. Did you get any Orioles gear?
No. Mandy and I did not exchange Christmas presents because we got ourselves an exercise bike. And I see you're showing off that you got your Top Gun.
Glove man. Austin Hayes.
It sure would be a shame if you dropped it right now while you're waving it around.
Eat it, Jimmy. Austin Hayes Glove Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going on over to Baysox.com and buying the $88 for a season pass, and I'll probably give away the tickets. I hear you can give them to like a charity or something, and they'll help you out with it.
There's also, I believe, June 13th is the date of the bobblehead giveaway. I think that's the date. I'm planning on going to that game anyway, so I'll try to pick up a bobblehead if you don't want to spend $88.
I also plan on being in Maryland next week, and I thought if I just pocketed it off your shelf, I could probably get away with it for a while without you noticing.
I checked on eBay, see how much it seems Baby's going for. I couldn't find it listed though.
It's like you can see my computer screen. That's what I was doing.
Could you find it? I looked for it. I couldn't find it.
No, it's not up. I don't see one up there.
I think I might be the only person in the world with this thing.
I don't know. It's a really nice bobblehead, but
it's a nice bobblehead. Top Gun.
There's none up on eBay yet because that is where I get some of my Oriole bobbleheads.
Yeah. What do you think I can list this thing for? Since there's nothing on there.
I would say that you can list it for about $65.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Would you buy it if I put it on eBay for $65?
No, I will not. But I am tempted to get it.
We cut out the middleman, just Venmo me, Josh, okay, and I'll send it over to Florida.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, as an exclusive bobblehead, one that's not up there yet. I mean, you can get a Stupid Keys Austin Hayes for $20.
Yeah, but that's not Glove Man.
You can get a different Keys one where he's got like 3 balls on his bat for some reason, and that's going for $35 plus $10 shipping. And they all call it rare, so I think Glove Man would be rare, and I'm going to say $65.
Yeah, this was my only Orioles related Christmas gift was the Bowie Bay Sox tickets for $80 or whatever, and then the Glove Man. Thank you, Gigi. It was really clutch that Bowie Bay Sox came out with that deal because Christmas, I never know what to tell Gigi to get me. It really stresses me out.
I'm with you. We got lawn furniture, or not lawn furniture. What do you call it? Patio furniture.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you.
Yeah, and my wife and I don't exchange gifts. We haven't done that, exchange gifts for years and years, just because we have everything and. Yeah, you never know what to get each other.
It's way easier for me to just buy what I want.
Yeah, so she can buy herself a Christmas gift if she wants, and I'll buy myself something.
Give me something for my birthday. I'll do that.
She doesn't even. Well, no, she did give me something for her birthday. She got me a pillow, really nice pillow.
A My Pillow?
No, it wasn't a My Pillow. It was, but it was.
Who buys a pillow that's not a My Pillow?
I always steal her pillow, like when she's working, because she works nights. I always steal her pillow, and she knows it.
And she says it's my pillow.
And she said, why do you steal my pillow? I said, no, it's not my pillow, but it's her pillow.
Right, it's your pillow. It's not my pillow.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I want to talk about, Josh, our top, before we get too long in the show, I want to talk about our top 2020 sports stuff. All right.
I
have them ranked 1 through 11. Do you have any you want to add?
I got one that's probably not on your list. Chris Davis looking good in spring training.
Okay, you just hit number 11.
Is that number 11 on your list?
That's number 11 on my list.
Right. That's a fun one for the Orioles. All right. I mean, it was fun as guys that do an Orioles podcast. It was fun to be able to talk about the fact that for a couple weeks in February that mean nothing, Chris Davis was looking good.
Yeah, that was a legit story back in February.
All right, I thought that would be crossed off. Is number 10 the failure of Chris Davis and the constant injury of him during the shortened season?
No, I just have like the top best story, like the best things that came out of Baltimore sports 2020.
It's a really bad year to go the worst things of 2020.
Yeah, just everything, right?
Well, yeah.
So right. It was a little bit of work pulling out the best.
I'm pretty good. I got this down. All right. I got your number 11.
Yeah, you want to throw out some more?
All right, let's see.
I'll tell you what number it is.
How about opening day in July in the shortened baseball season?
So I have the fact that there was a baseball season. Like we had a baseball season was number 9 on my list because a lot of people said that we would not have a baseball season. And a lot of people said after some Miami stuff and some St. Louis stuff that we would not have a baseball season.
It is pretty amazing looking back. Like baseball handled COVID really well compared to how other sports have.
Even though during it, people thought they were botching it.
Yeah.
In retrospect, they actually did pretty well.
Yeah, for as much trash as people talked about baseball players, besides the guy celebrating the World Series with COVID and then getting all the players COVID.
Yeah, but Turner, that's a bad luck,
Thankfully, all the Dodgers got it after the World Series, so baseball could just pretend like it had nothing to do with them. That was a bad look.
Yeah. But by the way, positive spin, now with the Ravens punter getting COVID, like almost every Ravens has had COVID at this point, I think. So we're good for the playoffs.
That is a good point. Justin Tucker has not gotten it yet. So we got to be concerned about that.
Yeah, put that boy in a bubble. We cannot lose him.
Now that I said it, he's probably going to have it before Sunday.
Yeah.
The way it's going to run through that wolf pack. Because from the looks of it, they do everything together.
Yeah.
But all right, it's all right.
You got number 9. You got number 11 on my list.
All right, so number 10. All right.
And I'll tell you what, I got. There's 11. 9 of them are Orioles related.
Okay.
Actually, 8 of them are specifically Orioles related. 2 of them are Ravens related, and 1 I think crosses Ravens and Orioles.
All right. Well, yeah, and I know I got the crossover one.
What's the crossover one?
Is crossover one number 10?
No, it's number 7.
All right, then I'll get to it at number 7. I'm trying to give me something for number 10. Give me a clue.
Okay. This is the Orioles' reward for sucking in 2019.
Adley Rutschman, just the fact of Adley Rutschman showing up. Now, was Adley Rutschman drafted in this year?
No, so that's my number 10 is Heston Kjerstad. How quickly we forget,
right,
because he's never actually played for the Orioles yet. But Heston Kjerstad was our number 1 pick, so he was number 10 on my list of good things that's happened.
All right, that's a good one. Do you have the Project Bowie, or whatever they called it, as one of your numbers?
Josh, that's number 3.
All right, good. We'll get to that. All right.
No, but you
just draft pick.
Yeah.
So all right, I've got that.
And by the way, I think that was. I'm really excited about that draft pick. Just that whole draft. I think is going to be really interesting to watch. Even though it was shorting, just like 5 rounds or whatever it was, I think it's going to be exciting to watch those players.
Yeah, again, we're rebuilding. That's the future. And we need those guys to come up fast for this 2023.
Yeah, I'm curious because they didn't play at all last year. I'm curious to see where, because normally they would go to like Aberdeen, but now it's all messed up. So Aberdeen's not Aberdeen anymore. But normally they would go to like not even low A ball, like below low A ball, whatever you call it, Aberdeen League. But this year, without them having played anything, I'm curious to see where they spot some of these guys.
I think Delmarva's now the lowest.
Yeah, so how many guys? Then there's also the 2 Florida Gulf Coast League, whatever teams.
Right, but don't those play during the fall? Or do they have one during the season?
I think they go during the season as well. I think that's where new draftees will go.
Yeah, but that's like July.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what are we at? Yeah.
8, and you mentioned it already. Another year that Adley Rutschman is closer to becoming an Oriole is number 8. Right? We had to have 2020.
You really stretched out this top 10. Okay, gotcha.
It was another year for Adley Rutschman to become close. Like without 2020, we would have to wait another year. But no, we waited this year for Adley Rutschman, so he's a year closer. Hopefully 2021.
All right.
Will be
Then
the
I'm
Adley
also
Rutschman
going to
year.
add on this.
And that'll be
the
number
Adley-
one next year. 2021, I'm telling you right now, Adley Rutschman will be my number one in my 2021 recap.
Okay, I'm with you there. But I'm going to say that also in the Adley Rutschman for this year is the Adley Rutschman like Snapchat highlights or TikTok or whatever he's in.
I don't have TikTok, but Adley Rutschman's make me want to get a tiki-taki.
All right, like did you see him crushing the ball using the metal bat?
Oh, yes. I watched it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so where are we at? Number
7, the Ravens-Orioles crossover.
No, this is Mo Gabba.
That's right, Mo Gabba. Which, this one's a little bit... Because, I mean, we mourned the passing of Mo Gabba in 2020.
This is clearly a celebration.
A celebration of his life. Yes, of how he kind of lifted up Baltimore. Jeremy Kahn did a ton of great stuff. He got a freaking street named after Mo Gabba. It was
not to mention
just a great story.
The Ravens and the whole entire section of Mo Gabba cutouts.
Yeah.
The Mo in the end zone. It's amazing how the Ravens stepped up and took care of things this year. And Orioles, somewhat. The Orioles did announce about him going into the Orioles Hall of Fame before he passed. But the Ravens really stepped it up this year.
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah, so it's a tragic story in his passing, but also just a powerful story about how one little kid fan can uplift an entire city is a pretty cool thing. Great with the Ravens and interviews with his mom. Like, stop it. It was just emotional and kind of powerful stuff with Mo Gabba. All right. Number 6 is I have 2 more Ravens, just Ravens. Number 6 is a Ravens thing. You know what Ravens thing I'm pumped about for this past year, 2020?
For 2020?
It's a recent event that took place on my birthday.
Oh, that took place December 14th. From the Ravens. Okay, I was just going to say the Ravens kind of year as a whole. Ravens, what happened on your birthday? You'll have to remind me.
It kept you and I up to probably about 1 or 2 a.m.
Okay, yeah. The greatest Ravens game in history.
Yes, the Ravens-Browns Monday night football game. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that game had everything. The poop game.
Yeah, the poop game. Yeah, I should have had a hint involving crapping or something. Yeah, my bad.
The game that no matter what, I want Lamar to be Super Bowl MVP. So as Super Bowl MVP, he's still being asked about running to the bathroom.
Yeah, those week of interviews.
Exactly. I want all that. I think the Orioles should have played it up. The Ravens should have played that up. How great would it have been if their next home game or their next game, they had a porta potty behind the bench? Just sitting there like a purple porta potty?
Yeah.
Just with a big number 8 on it. Would have been a lot of fun. But Lamar didn't seem to embrace the fun of that.
He retweeted a couple of funny tweets about it, actually.
Yeah, but he was always like, you guys are killing me. Nothing happened. Yeah. It wasn't that. I'm kind of surprised he didn't jump on the merch.
Yeah, on the down low, in my heart of hearts, I think he was he legitimately had cramps, like in his legs or whatever, and he wasn't really pooping.
I also think he had cramps in his stomach.
Yeah, I know you do. But the story about cramps in his stomach is funnier than cramps in his legs.
What gets me is the cramps in the stomach. The reason I go that storyline is because of that one shot where he almost runs over the random staffer in the hallway.
Yes. Who's opened the door, like knocks him out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we've all been there.
Right.
All right, I got 4 more Orioles.
All right.
My next one is about the Orioles, about this past season. Like, what were the standout stories of this past season? I might have missed one here, actually, but I wrote down.
Not the season overall, because the season overall, especially the first half, was kind of fun. Like, the Orioles were doing better than expected.
Yeah, like, I'm looking for, like, specific performances or themes that came out of the season.
Let's see. Not John Means, because he kind of had a down year.
Well, down first half of the year, came back a little bit second half. But he's not on my list. He's not on my list.
He's not enough to make it into your precious top 11.
No. You got to earn the list.
You've got Trey further down the list.
Yeah, he's.
All right. Because it's nice to have positive news coming out of that. The highlights would be Austin Hayes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I grouped them all together.
All the young guys?
In the arrival of young players. And I put them in this order: Ryan Mountcastle, Tanner Scott, Dean Kramer. And then this kind of amalgam of players in Austin Hayes, DJ Stewart, who went kind of hot and cold, Cedric Mullins, who was hot and cold, Keegan Aiken, who I thought was kind of a bum, but he pitched pretty well. But the leading name of that whole thing is Ryan Mountcastle, this arrival of young players. And I think Tanner Scott had a great year from the pen. I think Dean Kramer looked really good too. So just the arrival of the young players is number 5.
How about, speaking of young players, how about Anthony Santander? Is he anywhere on your list?
That's number 4, Josh.
All right. See, I'm pretty good at this game.
Yeah, so I think the emergence of Anthony Santander.
The fact that a Rule 5 guy is like one of our stars of the team now.
Well, yeah, the fact
has
that
a bright future.
At the beginning of the year, we didn't have a star, and then our star was Adley Rutschman and Trey Mancini, who both weren't playing, and all of a sudden, this new star, Anthony Santander, emerged when we didn't think we had any stars. So I think that's a great story, both from last year and going forward in our future, to have him. So he was number 4 on my list.
Yeah. All right.
Number 3, we already talked about the Bowie Training Center, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mentioned it. We didn't talk about it. Yeah, I don't remember what they called it, but I like.
You think that warrants number 3 on my list? I put it above I put it above Ryan Mountcastle, above Santander.
That's what I wanted to talk about, because I think it does. But I also am wondering if it's some voodoo magic that we believe in. Because we never saw true proof of it. We never really knew.
No one knows. No one was in there.
It's the magic of Disney, where you go to Disney World and you don't see anything.
There's just rumors of what's happening there.
There's not a single trash can that's overfilled. There's no one, there's no trash anywhere. There's no people. Everything's hidden. Yeah. All the dark sides of the world are hidden.
You hear rumors about tunnels and devil worship, but you never see it.
Exactly, but you don't see it. And I kind of feel like that's the Orioles. That's Project Bowie. It's all magic, and we hear all these beautiful things. We don't hear about the thing that sucked, or how they kind of just fought around and didn't take life serious, or that they had COVID issues there, or this. We don't hear anything negative about it. I love the concept of Project Bowie. And I think the little glimpses that we saw made it look like a magical place.
Well, that's right, because DJ Stewart sucked, went down, came back, hitting home runs like he was freaking Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Cedric Mullins, the same thing. And then we see these pitchers, Keegan Aiken, Dean Kramer, emerge looking like studs. Coming from Project Bowie.
It was like everyone that came, and I'm sticking with that name, Project Bowie.
Yeah,
that's not the name of this episode. Everyone that went there, it worked.
Yeah.
And for years of talking about needing a farm system and a farm system and a farm system, and suddenly we had one location and it worked.
Well, and when they started talking about Project Bowie, which no one ever called it Project Bowie, but when they started talking about this overflow place, I thought it was that, you keep the cattle in the overflow pen. This is where I kept my goats during mating season away from the male goat. You just kept them there in holding in case COVID cases broke out.
Right.
But it wasn't a holding cell. It was a freaking training program, and what it looks like an elite training program from the looks of it.
It went from being set up as a bubble where we're going to keep everyone secure in case people get sick. It's kind of having that hospital-like feel, to being one of these performance centers that the guys go to in the winter.
To fans,
so fun to watch, where you're all the top stars are all at this park down in Miami, all playing together. That's what suddenly Bowie was.
It went to fans saying, I know Chris Davis is officially broken, but
Right,
what if he spent a couple weeks at Project Bowie?
Exactly.
When you actually had fans believing that Project Bowie could do something for Chris Davis, that's when you know we're entering Disney Fantasyland territory right there.
Right.
So I thought that was a big story, and everything we heard about also development of Adley Rutschman there was also great stuff.
Yeah.
So it gets us all really excited.
And I am all for destroying minor league baseball and just having Project Bowie.
Yep.
Sorry, the little towns.
Yep.
But Project Bowie, I feel more confident about Project Bowie getting the Orioles to the World Series than I do Norfolk, Aberdeen, and Delmarva.
Yeah, but it does get you excited for the overall development process that the Orioles are using.
Yes.
Because we've seen it work. Yeah.
Right. And the difference and Project Bowie was focused, and it was only your stars, only your most important prospects. And part of that added to the mystique of Project Bowie, where normally you would have 5 of those guys in Bowie, 5 of those guys in Norfolk, and some other random people, that also added to it. Yeah. All right. So if Project Bowie was number 3 on your list, what was number 2?
Well, I tell you, and now I'm getting nervous that I'm going to miss something really obvious, and someone's going to tweet at me saying what an idiot I am for missing a major good story from Baltimore sports in 2020. But whatever, I got 2 more. You already alluded to my number 1 overall.
All right. You can't give up number 1 until you get to number 2.
I know, but you already mentioned it. So
go to number 2.
All right, number 2 is my last Ravens one.
Okay. All right. Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
I mean, you can't talk about the Ravens without the magic of Lamar Jackson.
And specifically, by the way,
second half
at the end of the 2019 season, going into 2020.
No way. No. 2020, Lamar Jackson last season sucked. Last year, 2020, you're talking playoff game.
No, Dash, you know what I'm talking about. Can I finish?
Well, yeah, you can't praise 2019 Lamar Jackson when we're talking about stuff that happened in 2020.
But what happened in 2020? He was awarded
MVP.
The MVP of the 2019 season. But the award didn't happen until 2020.
All right. Is it fair to consider COVID the Madden curse?
Oh, this is... Well, he was on the cover this year? No, he was on cover... Is he on cover this year of Madden?
This year. He was on the cover this year.
Yeah.
Or do I still have something dreaded to look forward to?
Yeah, maybe.
Because post-COVID Lamar is back to looking like last year's Lamar. Post-COVID is a really fun Lamar right now that we're watching.
Yes, but my thing specifically was winning the MVP. I mean, he was the first Ravens to win it. I mean, MVPs are rare things, even across sports.
You know what? They only award 1 a year.
If you look at the Orioles, Josh, we've had Manny Machado. He never won MVP. We had Mike Messina. He never won MVP. We had Brian Mattis. He never won an MVP. To find it.
Which one of these names does not match?
You have to go. The Orioles have had. We've had Brooks Robinson, Franks Robinson, Boog Powell, Cal Ripken. That's the list of MVPs. The last guy to win an MVP for us was Cal Ripken. That's going back to our childhood. And I think the last time was 1991 that the Orioles have had an MVP player. It just doesn't happen very often. The Ravens never had one. So it's just a huge deal that we had a player win the MVP. Lamar Jackson in general has been, freaking breath of fresh air to Baltimore sports. But his MVP was, I think, a big deal.
Yeah, you know what? Cal Ripken won the MVP in 1993. Do you know who the Oriole previous to him was?
Boog Powell?
No, it was also Cal Ripken who won it in 83.
83, yeah.
Yeah. He won it twice.
I thought you meant a different player than
I know.
Trick question. Question.
But yes, Lamar is special, and it's been fun to see him come off that MVP year. First half of the year being a little awkward, where it seemed like they were doing a lot much, but now they got back to core Lamar again, and it's just magical.
Yep. And we'll see. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday, what happens in the playoffs.
Yep, can't wait. It's time to get off that playoff hump and get over that hill for Lamar. I think this year could be the year. All right, so you ready for number one?
Yep.
You all excited?
Yep. The number one Baltimore sports story of 2020, according to me, IMHO, Trey Mancini kicking cancer's butt.
Yes.
I think that's a huge deal, a huge story, an uplifting story, and also like a just because everyone loves Trey Mancini, right? Face of the franchise, everyone loves them, and just from a baseball standpoint, the fact that he's going to be ready for spring training is kind of remarkable. So
right. The fact that he's back in the cage hitting, the fact that he says that he feels 100% back in baseball shape. Did you see him on the cover of Press Box?
No.
So the Press Box did their best of this past month, and
I should have looked at that list to prepare for my list. Shoot.
Yeah, you should have. In fact, I should have done that one to cheat. But
are you looking at that list now?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
you pulling it up to me.
Everything that I missed, obviously.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to look. But I wanted to talk about his cover on Press Box because it's on the cover of the December issue of Press Box, Trey Mancini's on the cover. And it's a drawing of him, so it's not a photo. But as it was going around on social media and being promoted, I can't help but continue to stare at Trey Mancini's arms.
Okay.
Do you have the picture in front of you?
No.
Did you find it? Okay. Well,
I did find Glenn Clark's top 15 moments of
all right. Well,
Baltimore sports moments.
But just search Press Box Trey Mancini, or if you just go to if you go to Press Box online, right at the top you'll see their 2020 covers, and it shows Trey Mancini right there.
I'm going there now
because the arms are really impressive, and I keep staring at his arms.
Is this like Chris Davis type arms?
They look bigger than Chris Davis type arms. They look like I just kicked cancer's butt, and now I'm coming for you.
Oh, I'm looking at them now, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a cartoon rendition.
He's glowing. Yeah, I get that it's a cartoon. It's a really good cartoon rendition. And I'm very impressed by the look of cartoon Trey Mancini.
Yeah. Are you saying you'd rather have cartoon Trey Mancini play for the Orioles than the actual Trey Mancini?
Well, hold on. If we're picking cartoons that can be on my baseball team, I'm not going to go with one based on a human.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'll just take regular Trey Mancini. But yes, Trey Mancini was a wonderful story.
I think they're giving him a little bit too much credit with that beard, too, to be honest. But, okay. I'm sorry, just looking at the picture again.
I'm with you.
I think they're being a little bit generous with that nicely formed beard. But, yeah, right. So Trey Mancini was my top story of 2020.
All right, so I do have Glenn's top 15 moments. And I gotta say, his are a lot different than your list.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
All right, number 15 on his list, the Ravens flushed the Browns. Clearly talking about the poop game.
Yeah, I had that. Not as clever as Glenn put it, because Glenn's the best there.
Right, Glenn's a writer. Let's see, number 14, Gervonta Davis scores an incredible knockout.
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah. It's like boxing or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, boxing did not make my list.
I don't care. Let's see, number 13.
Yeah.
Talio, the Terps quarterback.
Tagovailoa. Yeah. Well, okay, I don't have any Maryland. I'm sure Glenn has Maryland football and Maryland basketball in here.
You're going to give Maryland back. Yeah, that's it. Number 12, Sam Cook breaks Terrell Suggs' record for most games played. All right, fine, but there's nothing special. You played. It's like perfect attendance. That's a stupid stat, and it shouldn't be celebrated at your high school graduation.
By the way, that's like 15 years straight or something, right? And this is now in danger this week.
It is.
He's got the COVID.
No, does he have the COVID?
No, I think he's been exposed to the COVID.
So
he's on the COVID list.
He has. If he's been exposed, he might have a chance to play.
No, I think he's not playing. Because they're talking about Tucker punting And Mark Andrews holding kicks. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to play.
All right. Number 11 on Glenn's list, the fantastic Philly Swiss skydiver.
I don't know what that means.
That is the horse that won Preakness.
Okay, yeah, I got no horses on my list. Fair enough.
All right, number 10, Navy bounces back.
Okay, again, I'm sure that's a reference to Navy football. Yeah, I'm sorry. I could have put some Liberty Flame stuff on me.
Yours.
Yeah.
Number 9, Lamar Jackson picks up where he left off. That matches your list.
Okay, yeah, I got Lamar Jackson.
Number 8, Ryan Mountcastle's debut.
Okay, I had Ryan Mountcastle. Yeah.
Number 11, Austin Hayes. You've got that.
Okay, I touched Boston Hayes, sure.
Number 6, Pat Valleca's walk-off.
Okay, no.
Social distance
Pat
celebration.
Valleca will never make my top 10 Orioles list.
That game was fun. There's no way he needs to be on a list.
Yeah, I guess if you're doing, he's doing moments, so I guess that makes sense. I guess
he's doing moments.
If you're doing specific games, yeah.
If you tried to pick one exciting Oriole game, I guess.
Yeah.
Loyola wins women's lacrosse.
No, I don't have any women's lacrosse on my list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Maryland Big Ten. Daryl Morcell plays hero against Minnesota.
Another Maryland basketball. Okay, fine.
UMBC
I could
takes
include
down
Maryland
Vermont.
basketball. Oh, UMBC, stop it. What is this, UMBC? What are we doing, a small college? Get out of here, UMBC.
And Jason Gibson and Brian Fobbs author a SportsCenter Top 10 highlight.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that reference.
If you've never seen this play, I would encourage you to do a quick search immediately. Fallen out of bounds in a game against Elon, Towson's Jason Gibson simply chucks the ball up over his head and directly into the hands of the streaking Brian Fobbs, who goes in for the dunk. Once you've seen it, you'll probably replay it no fewer than 1,000 times. So Glenn Clark's list has Towson.
His number one for 2020 was a Towson reference?
It's a Towson highlight.
All right. So, I mean, it's Maryland sports. I get you.
I love Glenn Clark, but his list and our lists are going to be a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, he's into the local sports thing. I get that. I'm not a UMBC or Towson guy.
Yeah, so.
I'm more mainstream. Whatever.
I like the list. Did you have any?
No, don't say our list.
Mentions?
You like my list. I like our list. It's my list.
I guessed almost all of them.
Okay, but you didn't make the list.
I did. I just didn't write it down.
Yeah. The one addition you had is one I already had. Could you please add Chris Davis? It's on there.
No, I had them. All right, yeah, you're right. You made the list. You did the work.
By writing 11 things down that I remember.
All right, doctor.
Yeah, I'm a doctor now. Okay, I make the list.
Hey, so this week before we get out of here, you were in Savannah this week.
I was.
We've been talking. We talked about Savannah just a couple weeks ago on this podcast.
We did. Savannah Bananas.
Yeah. So, did you run into any Savannah Bananas?
No. I talked to Uncle Mike about the Savannah Bananas baseball team.
Was he excited about the Savannah Bananas? Or was he trying to bring it up like, I know something you won't know. I'll be able to impress you with the Savannah Bananas.
No, well, technically Silas showed up wearing a banana shirt, a shirt that has just a bunch of bananas on it.
All right, all right, I thought Silas has a Savannah Banana shirt because I want a Savannah Banana shirt.
It's just a shirt with a bunch of small little bananas on it, and Uncle Mike said, "Oh, look at those bananas. Did you know here in Savannah we have a minor league team called the Savannah Bananas?"
And did you say, "Of course I know"?
Yeah.
They wear yellow and they have fun.
Well, aren't they an independent league team?
Yeah, they're independent.
I didn't correct him because technically they're not minor league, Uncle Mike. They're independent league, but I didn't go there with it.
Yeah, they're independent. You didn't say, they take on the Macon Bacon. That's their big rivalry. And the trophy for the Macon Bacon versus Savannah Banana is a log carving where they have a guy with a chainsaw come out and carve the trophy.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Yes. I'm telling you, it's baseball and fun and minor league baseball kicked up a notch.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. We'll have to do a live show from the Savannah Banana Stadium. I'm into that.
Oh, hey, if you come down to Savannah, I will arrange that.
Okay.
We'll get all set up with a live show.
We got Uncle Mike down there. My wife loves any excuse to visit Uncle Mike.
All right. Well, yeah, I was planning some spring training stuff, but who knows with COVID? I kind of thought COVID would be gone by now.
Yeah.
So,
but not worse than ever. My wife gets the vaccine this week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you tell her to save a little for you?
I told her to see if she can smuggle one home for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to keep it like cold because if you leave it on like the kitchen counter, it dies or something.
I thought we could do the thing. I learned this when I read Indian in the Cupboard in 3rd grade, where they became blood brothers, the Indian and the cowboy.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I could do when Emily's sleeping, like prick her thumb and like prick my thumb and do a little blood swap. And that would give me partial immunity or something. I don't know if that works.
No, it gives you diseases. I don't. So that's a good point. Does that work?
Well, I don't, like, how can I get her immunity in my body? What are different ways I can get her immunity in my body?
I think you're right with that. I think you're onto something with this blood brother thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, where you get her antibodies into your blood.
Yeah. I don't know if we can just make out and I get the antibody. I think it has to be more than that. I think we have to do something a little more. You
just gotta. It's got to be a little Twilighty, and you got to bite her lips.
Oh, is that what?
Blood
I just do a little go vampire with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Suck her blood. Okay,
Yep,
if it gets me the vaccine, I'll do it.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Fauci's a vampire.
Yeah. Well, Josh, you've read, I'm sure, a bunch of conspiracy theories about politicians drinking kids' blood or something, right? You've gone down that route before.
I just got to open up my windows and let's see what we overhear.
Yeah, this is Florida. I'm sure you've heard those stories.
Of course.
Yeah. But I made the trip back today. Record time. You can play the outro music. How long do you think it took me to drive from Savannah to here?
10 hours.
9.
Did you do it at 9? That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
We left at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Didn't hit any traffic. Worked out well.
Okay, good.
We drugged up Silas.
That's the way to do it. You drug your kids. If you can drug your wife and the kids, you can really make good time.
Yeah, it does. My wife she drugs herself. She just falls asleep. But Silas, the kid won't be quiet, so we had to drug him.
So no traffic, anything? Just flew up 95?
No traffic, yeah. 95 lasts forever. Just went all the way up 95, yeah.
All right, so, so this is a little weird. We're putting out a show on a Thursday night.
New Year's, a special New Year's edition.
A special New Year's edition. And then, are we going to be back on Monday? That's a little tight for 2 shows back to back. Or you want to go again next weekend?
No, we can do Monday. We'll have the Ravens playoff preview show.
All right.
We'll do some more Ravens stuff. We haven't really talked a lot of Ravens.
Good point. Let's do Ravens and let's kind of look to the future.
Yeah, maybe do some. I got a couple New Year's resolutions too.
All right.
Involving sports. I know you're anti-New Year's resolutions, but
we'll do some resolutions and we'll do some bold predictions.
For 2021?
2021 bold predictions.
Oh, can't wait to hear Josh's thoughts on COVID. Okay, sure.
Yeah, all my predictions are going to be COVID and president.
Yeah, presidents. Yeah.
Wait. When's the whole next whatever Trump election craziness?
January 6th is when he's holding a big rally.
January 6th. That's when it is. All right, yeah, that's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can bump my flight up and instead of January 8th, fly in January 6th.
Yeah, to get into that action.
To head on over to D.C. in that mess.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't want to be there. All right. Well, let's get out of here.
All right. Thanks for listening, boys and girls.
Share the show.
What?
Share the show.
Oh, yeah.
Tell people about the show.
Share the show. Yeah.
Especially since I don't know if there are any words right there. Especially since we have a brand new show coming out on Monday, you got to push this episode really hard for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Go ahead and give us a retweet when you see us on Twitter. Share us on Facebook.
Oh, now that the election's over, is it safe to go back on Twitter? I've been avoiding.
Yeah, just avoid Jimmy and Bleacher Birds, and
don't mention the $88.
Yeah. No, I follow now again. I follow that guy. I'm blanking on his name. The guy from Australia.
You follow Dan Clark?
Super into him. Really enjoy him. Yeah. Yeah, I like him a lot.
That's weird.
I know. I'm into him, though. I'm into him.
All right. We'll talk about that on Monday also.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But no, I think Twitter is now, it's almost all Ravens. My feed is almost all Ravens again. So
All right.
things are looking up.
All right, I'll be back on Twitter.
Yeah, it's safe to go back, I think.
All right. So, yeah, do that. Write us a review on iTunes or what do they call it now? Apple Podcasts.
Yep, give us 5 stars. Write something nice.
Hey, if you're a Reddit user, I am not a Reddit user, or I don't really use Reddit, but I'll Google and sometimes find stuff on Reddit. Mm-hmm. You guys can fix Orioles Reddit for me. Orioles Reddit on the right-hand side has all the websites Oriole fans should check out, and it lists also Orioles podcasts. And it only lists one podcast, and it does not list our podcast. Well, it lists 2. It lists the official Orioles podcast, and then it lists someone else. So we need our name up there, too.
I know who it lists, too, probably. Those bums. Our nemesis.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and put us up there, too.
All right. Because you know what?
I'm irritated. I'm starting off the new year irritated now. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Reddit, Oriole, what do you call Redditors? Oriole Redditors? Why is it that you list a podcast that takes the off-season off and not Section 336?
Got him. Shots fired. Well said, Josh. You can follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Section 336. Follow Josh on Twitter.
At Josh Soroka.
Oh, they had a... Never mind. I'm not going to talk about it. They had a tweet that really ground my gears, too. Now that you mentioned Twitter and them, they had a tweet that really ground my gears. We'll talk about it off the air.
Yeah, let me guess. It was political-based.
Yeah, it was.
They have stepped into political Twitter, and that is part of what got me
I'm just saying, we live in a world now where you can't even freaking like a tweet or without getting blasted on social media for liking a tweet.
Austin Hayes.
It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
If you like a tweet from President Trump, it does not mean you need to be kicked off the Orioles.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Calm down, people. Put down the torches. It's not that serious.
I disagree with a bunch of stuff. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can disagree with people about politics.
You can like any tweet you want, by the way. I don't care.
Right. The only thing you got to agree about is the Orioles.
Yeah. And if you, especially if you're an Oriole player, just be good at players. I don't care who you vote for. Just be good at hitting and catching. Jeez.
Exactly. If you're going to wear the Orioles shirt, just hit the ball far and catch the ball. I don't care if you're like Luke Scott and have a whole bunch of guns and deer heads in your locker room.
Yeah, I'm gonna
be crazy. I don't care.
I'm gonna boo you for being Chris Davis or blowing saves like Kevin Gregg, but I'm not gonna boo you for a heart you hit on Twitter for a politician. Get out of here.
If you could give me old school Kurt Schilling, I want old school Kurt Schilling on my team.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
but whatever, that's us, not them.
We're really bad at ending shows.
I'm sorry, you got me. I just remembered that. I completely forgot about that, and then I put the 2 and 2 together, and then I just get irritated all over again. But I let it go on Twitter. I just let it go. Just scroll past.
It's like Walmart.
Yeah, just keep it moving.
Walmart attacked some Republican on Twitter yesterday accidentally. Yeah, the social media person forgot to change out of their Walmart account and wrote something trashing someone in the Walmart account, which made things really awkward for Walmart.
Well, maybe that's happened. Maybe that's what happened with that podcast account. Maybe it's supposed to be an individual.
Right.
Which I would be okay with. If you want to bash him as an individual, I'm still not okay with it, actually. No, it's stupid.
It's still silly.
Anyway, all right. You can follow us on the Twitter handles. Happy New Year. And as always, go Ravens.